Hello, welcome to week 11. This week, we're going to talk about informatics and public health. So let's go ahead and look at our assignments for this week. And you have your reading assignment, you have the case study to do, and you're going to be looking at some data sets on the internet. Okay, so let's look at some of these assignments specifically. So again, make sure to look at your topical outline and PowerPoint. And as far as our first assignment, it's the public health data sets assignment. And this is where you're actually going to go to these sites here that are listed. So if you click on the site, the first one is for CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And when you do that, you're going to see a chart that looks like this. Okay, so you're going to scroll down and you're going to see this chart. All right. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to follow the directions on the assignment sheet, and you're going to go ahead and click for the dashboard because that's the one that's going to show you the picture. Then if we went down to childhood death rates, you have to put update dashboard. And then you can go ahead and look to see what that is. So what you're going to have to do then is interpret what this chart is telling you. All right. Now, the second site that you need to go to is VizHub. And you'll see a map that looks like this. Now, to zero in, because I've asked you to look at certain counties in Ohio, if you go over here to this plus sign, that will go ahead and make the map bigger so that you can actually go in and see the counties in Ohio. Okay, so we're in Hamilton County, so that's where you're going to start. And I ask you to look at the surrounding counties as well. So if you just hover over the different counties, you'll be able to see the information you want. If you want to look at the racial ethnic group, you can choose whichever one you want. You can actually change the year. Right now, it's set where it goes up through 2019. Or you can also, set the gender, the sex, and the age. All right. And you can get all kinds of information from looking at this chart here. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew how to make it bigger so that you could find Hamilton County. All right. So if we go back to, so that is the instructions for the data sets assignment. The data sets are the ones that are on those websites that you're going to interpret. The next assignment is where you're going to look at some of the social determinants of health, and there's a case study. All right. So here's the case study, and it's going to give you directions on what to do with your data set, which is actually an Excel spreadsheet. All right. So this information on the Excel spreadsheet, let me pull it up here, has already been changed so that it will have numbers representing the different areas versus words, because remember, when you work with Excel, you need to have numbers for these things. So here's our categories that we're looking at. We're looking at smoking, obesity, physical inactivity, education level, access to healthcare, access to nutritional foods, and employment status. So if you look back on the description on your assignment sheet, it will tell you what each of these things mean. All right. So this is what your data sheet looks like. So let's go back to our assignment. So you're going to create a new worksheet, and you're going to find all these descriptive statistics for age. So remember how you're just going to type these into cells on your Excel spreadsheet, and then you're going to put borders around it so that it actually looks like a table. All right. So you go down, it gives you step by step on what you're supposed to do, how you create a pivot table to look at some of this different information. Okay, then you're actually going to do a visualization by creating a bar chart, and that will help again to see the information more clearly in a picture form versus just all the words and numbers. All right. Then you're going to go ahead and find some correlations. So remember, you're going to go to the data analytics. So remember, under the data tab, you already put that on your computer for your last assignment. So click on data analytics and then click on correlation. And then it tells you the different things that you need to correlate. Now, this cross tabulation is really just a pivot table. So if you go and read what you need to do, what things you're going to be comparing, and you go down here, it's going to tell you to do this, create a pivot table and drag the race in the rows box and the access to education in the columns. And so it gives you specific instructions on how to do this. Then you need to report your findings. So you do not need to use APA format this week. This week, you can just copy and paste these questions onto a Word document and then just place your answers right below the question. All right. So you don't have to worry about the different paragraphs or the different headings and so forth. So, and here are the descriptions that I told you about. So obese versus non-obese, physically active versus physically inactive. This is just a description of what each thing is. So on our table, we had, for example, the obese would be a number 1, and the non-obese is number 2. Again, physically active, number 1, physically inactive, number 2. So it's going to go like that throughout for all of these descriptors. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please contact me and we can go over it. All right. So once you get done with your assignments, this is where you're going to submit them. And I do go through this every week. So hopefully it's just a habit for you now to look for the rubric and make sure that everything's in your assignment. And then you can go ahead and submit it. All right. So that is pretty much it for this week. So I hope that you have a good week and I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.